simple kitchen design. I think I'll create a grid first. So actually I'll create a rectangle. And we'll just drag out a rectangle 20 feet square, or 240 by 240. And one way I could do this is even just take this line, move a copy over 3 inches times 79. And then it gets a little tricky, I suppose. I could grab, that's actually a bunch of lines now, but if I drag and get the whole thing, then I can do the same thing. I'll move a copy of these guys down on the axis this way, 3 inches times 79. And it didn't work for some reason. Either that or it's processing it. There, it did it. All right, so then we could make this whole thing a group. I'm going to draw a rectangle right over that, same size, 20 by 20. And then I'm going to hit F and I'm going to offset it out. Come on. I might have to hide that grid. I'm going to just move it over. I'm going to take this 20 by 20 rectangle or square and I'm going to offset it out 5 inches. It's important that you offset it out. Delete the middle. Pull the walls up 8 feet or 96 inches. And then just to be able to look in, I'm going to push-pull this wall from the inside. Make sure you go from the inside. Push it over, and then I can erase those 2 lines and group the walls. And then I'm going to move this back where it was. Always move it out a known distance so that you can move it back a known distance. Looks right. Yep. Okay. Actually, a good way to do this is trying to do something tricky to make a whole bunch of cabinets at once. What I'm going to do is take a rectangle like this. And I'll make it long. So the important thing is that it's 2 feet wide. Let's see if this is going to work. I'm going to line it up like this. And then what I'm going to do is move a copy over to do a 3-inch change. But I'm going to move it like this. I'm going to move it down to here. And then I'm going to shift it over by 3 inches like that. And then I'm going to say times 10. And what that did, if I hide this, each one's sticking out 3 inches further. And then, let's see. I'm going to take a tape line and I'm going to come in this way, and I think I'll just start with 12 inches, even though that's a lousy cabinet. So this is 12, that's the front of the cabinet. They're all 24 inches deep. That's from the front of the cabinet back to the wall. So once I do this, I can draw in a line like that. I can drag out a box, dragging it to the left, and delete all of that. And those are all cabinet size changing based on 3-inch changes. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all this stuff and move a copy out. And by doing it that way, when I did that, I came in and I drag out a box going to the left. And that selects all those planes, but it does not select these little pieces in between. So now I have a full set of cabinets here that are set up like this. But just remember, this is the front of the cabinet, and this is the depth, 24. This is the front. Each one is 24 inches wide. So if I were to take this, it's too bad we don't have the extension to do all these at once, but if I was going to use these to represent cabinets, I could start pulling these guys up 34.5, which is cabinet height for base cabinets. And it's a little tedious, but I'd have to pull this one up and match the height of that. Actually, probably if I hit P and I double click on this, it's going to go probably the wrong. Oh, it did go the right direction. Yeah, double click, that's working. Sometimes you have to reverse the faces on these things so it's white side up. But this seems to be working fine. Okay, that's a bunch of cabinets. And then I should really group each one. At some point, I might go in to refine these cabinets by putting a tape line. I'll go up 4 inches, drawing the line. This is to create a toe kick. And then push this back 3. And if I was going to go even further, I would take this cabinet and offset it in 0.75. And when I push it back, if I go back, whoa, not that, this. If I push this back, if I go back 24 inches, it would cooperate. The back would have no thickness. So that's 24. So everything here is, the thickness is 0.75. So I'm going to push it back 24 minus 0.75, which would be 23.25. If you hit K on the keyboard, you'll be able to see hidden lines. You can actually see that that has a thickness. A little hard to read it, but and that's basically the cabinet with no doors on it at this point. So I'd group that. Actually, I might even make it into a component. And the way cabinets are listed is this is going to be a B12.